Morena koutou katoa. New theme today, and it's Waitangi number 1. And today I'm going to talk about Te Tiriti o Waitangi and give a 101, an introductory kōrero on the Treaty of Waitangi. You'll notice that I've titled it Te Tiriti o Waitangi rather than the Treaty of Waitangi. And the first reason for that is because there are two texts. There's an English text and there's the Te Reo Māori text. And it's the Te Reo Māori text that was signed by the majority of our tupuna, our ancestors, following the initial signing on the 6th of Waitangi. I say the initial signing, and we celebrate, remember, commemorate on the 6th of February because that was the initial signing when the first people signed that up the north at Waitangi. In addition, it then went around the country over some months where rangatira from every tribe around Aotearoa, Te Waipounamu, then got a chance to sign. In my case, in Whanganui, it was signed on the 29th and 31st at Pākaitore. And so one thing is, it's really good for you to find out where the tiriti was signed in your tribal area so that you can learn a bit more and also find out who signed. In my case, there were about 10 or so tupuna that signed, and one of 5 women that signed was from home. Her name was Rere Omaki. And so it's good for you to do your own research about what happened in your tribal area, or did you even sign? Because not all tribes signed. Another component to talk about with regard to Te Tiriti o Waitangi is there's 3 articles. And this is where it gets sticky, because we signed the Te Reo Māori text and it's quite clear what we signed up to. And the English text, there's some key differences, which is where things become fraught. I'll leave you to do your own research into the 3 articles, but what's important to note is international law says that you should always recognise the Māori language or the indigenous language text. In addition, it's also important to note that in 1877, only 37 years after the signing of the treaty, the New Zealand government then, or the judges, the courts, Judge Prendergast, he then referred to the Treaty of Waitangi, Te Tiriti o Waitangi, as a simple nullity, which means it's null and void, which gave way for the political system and the judiciary to ignore Te Tiriti o Waitangi and our rights. So basically there was a whole lot of stealth where they tried to kill us off. That didn't work because no one won the wars. So then they used the law to make their illegal actions legal. And that's a key point, because a lot of people will talk in today's context, not about the treaty but just generally, and go, oh, but it's law. And we must remember that law isn't always justice. Law isn't always just. The law is the law, and the law is created by those that have most power. Anyway, there's heaps more we could talk about 101 Te Tiriti o Waitangi session, but that's enough for now. Do your own research, find out what happened in your tribal areas, where they signed, so you can learn more about the history, because it's important that we take our history into the future, and that we know our history, because we've been taught to be ignorant as a nation about New Zealand's history. Ka te ake, have a great week. I'll probably talk from Waitangi. Kia ora tātou.